Hey awesome ones, Heather here. And you know, I have this saying, I don't know if you've heard it from me before, but it's we only have so many summers and we gotta enjoy these summers. And one of the ways that Bill and I like to enjoy the summer is to have a good old-fashioned charcoal barbecue. And Bill, you've become a bit of a master at doing this, right?
I don't know if I'm a master, but maybe pretty close.
He's really learned and taken a lot of time to learn how to master this. And he's going to show a few tips in this video. And we're going to show you what we're having for dinner. And it all starts in just a few seconds. So in the past, Bill and I used to be kind of separated when we made these dinners. I would be up here in the kitchen, slaving away, preparing the meal. And Bill would be down at the barbecue, slaving away, just trying to get those charcoals just right. And one day I went, wait a minute, this is like all wrong. So now I pre-prepare the meal. You got to be really careful if you're working with chicken or fish or something, but most of the time I'm working with something that can keep a little bit. And then when I've got it pre-prepared, I go down and keep Bill company, and it's so much more fun. So today I'm sharing one of our favorite barbecue summery dishes, and that is shish kebabs, and also with a side of rice. And I make my rice a little bit different. So now, because of, we're using beef in this and a marinated beef, but you could certainly use other you could use chicken, maybe salmon, or you could use tofu or just make complete vegetables. But yeah, we really wanted to share this with you. And as I said, Bill's gonna give you some of his charcoal grilling tips as well. So let's start with the shish kebabs, and I'll show you what I did in order to get ready for these. Well, first of all, I used I like to use sirloin steak. So I used a steak and I just cut it up, and it was enough for a steak for the two of us. Basically, that's it. And then I found this Clubhouse marinade, and it is so delicious. And I just followed the instructions. They say to add a bit of vinegar and that sort of thing. And I've marinated the beef now for about 4 or 5 hours, something like that, in the refrigerator. Now, I've also used, when I can't find this, because it's hard to find, a can of beer, wine. There's all kinds of other marinades that you can use, but I like to have the meat fairly tender, so I usually marinate it there. Also, what I've done is I've got some grape tomatoes, I have some red onions, and I've also sliced up some bacon. You don't have to use the bacon if you don't want to, and also some green peppers that you can see there. So now for the skewers, we have our own metal skewers that we use. Oh, I feel like that guy on what's that? Who is
Henry
it?
Scissorhands?
Henry, yeah, Scissorhand, or the other guy, Logan,
Oh, right.
But anyway, I digress. But you can also get these little thinner ones, like smaller ones as well. So those are also an idea. Or if you say, hey, I can't even find those anywhere, most of the grocery stores have the bamboo ones. My hint for using the bamboo, though, you need to soak them in water or you're going to have a lot of fire on your hands. So make sure that you soak them in water before you get started. So talking about let's get started. I'm going to start putting these together, and I'll show you how I do that. So this is the order that I usually like to put them in. First of all, I put in part of the red onion because it kind of holds everything together. Then I go ahead with the beef. And this bacon is uncooked, but it will cook. It's cured anyway, so they're usually just fine. So I put that on there, and then I put on a little grape tomato, and then I put on some green peppers, and then so on and so on. So don't those look nice? Oh, and they smell so good. But let's talk about what they're going to sit on. And what they're going to sit on is just white rice, and this is that 20-minute rice. Now, I'm using white rice here because it looks prettier for pictures, but truth be told, I usually use the brown rice, which isn't really bleached or anything like that, so it's got a lot of the natural ingredients. But you can always sort of put it on the stove and do it the old-fashioned way, but a friend of mine taught me how to do rice like this in the microwave. And basically all you do is you do the same ingredients, the butter and the 2 cups of water and the rice. I think it's 1 cup of rice. And then you put it all together in here. You put the microwave on 70%. I cover mine with a little bit of saran wrap or whatever, but you put it in the microwave at 70% power for 20 minutes. Turns out perfect. Love, love, love this. So the rice is done, and look at how nice and fluffy it is, all out of the microwave. Absolutely love it. It's a little bit like a sticky rice, but anyway, it's time for us to go and see Bill's part of this. And like I said, the prep's all done. Now I can go hang out with Bill. So here I am, Bill. I have finished doing my prep work, and now it's time to hang out with you.
I love it. This is my favorite part.
Now, it's your turn to show us how you do the charcoal barbecuing. And what kind of a barbecue do you have there?
Well, it's a charcoal barbecue, and it's the kind of egg shape or cylinder. It's or a nest, maybe you might want to call it, but it's perfect size for Heather and I, and just a couple of guests or so.
And it's a Weber, right?
Yes, it's a Weber charcoal barbecue.
Now, I know when you started barbecue, like a few years ago, you were using the charcoal, the regular charcoal, but you really didn't like it. What are you using for briquettes now?
Well, it is that. It's the charcoal briquettes, Kingsford.
And we're not being sponsored or anything by these guys.
No sponsorship. I love them because the quality is so good on them. I've tried different companies, and it's like it takes forever on some of them. This starts up, once you get it lit, it goes and it's perfect.
Now, we're going to start on the lighting of this, and have you already got the briquettes already lined in the bottom of the Weber barbecue already?
Yeah, did you want me to show
you?
All right,
or? Sure. Let's see what you got there.
Okay.
Okay, so now what do we got going on here, Bill?
Well, we're having the Shish Kebabs tonight, and I know how I'm going to arrange them here. And what I've done is I've arranged the charcoal in a nice line, and I've put in there a couple fire starters hidden under there. Can
you show us what the fire starters are, like who you use?
Well, I use 2 different types. I'm not sure. I think these are zip. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, zips. Okay. But, maybe we can show the packaging of them too.
But what I do is I kind of bury that in there, and that'll keep it going, but I get it started with the liquid. I'll use a little bit of the liquid zip, and this burns off really good, so you don't...
So that's the same manufacturer as the little starter cubes?
Yeah.
Okay,
I find the combined using both works great. So
go ahead.
Just going to put a little on here. Don't try this at home.
Or try it at home very carefully. Okay.
So there we go. Now, usually I let that sink in or set in for maybe about 2 minutes.
I'm going to stand back a little bit here. I look like a lot of charcoal. But anyway, go ahead.
So I let that set for a while, but in this case, I'm going to do it a little quicker. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be lighting are the 2 bags, and they burn completely. So
go.
Oh, and you can see that one caught?
Yep.
And that one caught. So what's going to happen? Now I don't have to go lighting anywhere else.
Okay.
Now it's going to spread.
All right.
And what I'll usually do is...
Now you've got the grill there in your hands, but show me what you use to clean the grill, Bill.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good question. I've got a brush here. Now this is not, I don't know if you can see it, Heather?
Yeah, I can see it.
It's not a wire brush. I've stopped using those because sometimes the little pieces of wire come off and they get into your food. So this is...
And people have actually gone to the hospital with serious problems with that.
Oh yeah, so these are the natural bristles, and it's a lot safer.
I would just want to show people something too. This is all on a concrete pad, and it looks like it's close to our fence, but it's really not that close to our fence. So, you know, safety first, everybody. Make sure that you've got that in a really safe environment. So what do we do now, Bill? You wait till they go a little, these coals, the fire goes down and they turn kind of a white color?
Yeah, you know when it's ready to cook when the coals have turned white, or a gray color, I guess, and that's when you're ready to go. So I'm going to put the rack, the grill, on top once the fire dies down, or else I'm going to burn my hands. And yeah, so usually it takes about, depending on how many coals you're using, it can take about anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to get your coals fully gray.
Okay, so you've put on the grill now, but these still aren't good enough yet. They're not white enough
You
yet.
can see how the corners, it's usually the corners that go first on it. I'd still say it's about 5-7 minutes away from being done.
Okay. All right, so now that we're waiting for these, you've got these gloves on. You used to use a shorter glove, but now you like the longer gloves.
You know what, when I'm out barbecuing, I find that there's so much heat around a charcoal barbecue that you have to cover up on going up your wrist. It's not so good just to have your hand covered. I got to have the wrist covered too, and you can see how far these go up.
That's great.
And so it gives me that extra protection against the heat.
And folks, we're going to put some links below in the description and also in our blog. If you want to get yourself some of these items, we'll try to find exactly or very similar to them.
Get the long ones if you do.
Not only those, but the Weber barbecues that we like some of the utensils, all that, so you can be ready to go to do some great grilling. And Bill, now with these shish kebabs, because it's beef, we don't like it overcooked, right?
Right.
So what you're going to do is you're just going to put them sort of all over on the grill. Is that the idea? And turn them a lot? Yeah,
I'm going to be turning them manually because we don't have those automatic rotation spits or whatever. So I'm just going to be lining them up, you know, like soldiers in a row, and kind of direct heat, but I'll be constantly flipping them and moving them around so that one is not getting overly done.
And Bill, how long will it be to cook these, do you think?
I'm going to say probably 7 to 10 minutes. Okay,
but sometimes when you do sausages, how do you do those?
That's a good point. Indirect heat. So the charcoal will be on half of the barbecue, and I'll put the sausages close to it, but on the part that doesn't have the charcoal, and I will put the lid on, and it's going to take probably about 25 minutes to cook the sausages because it's indirect, and every so often I'll be turning them as well too.
Okay, you know what? I see the flames are gone here. Now, take a look at those. I guess those are almost ready now, right?
Well, I'd say about another 4 minutes.
4 minutes. All right, let's get the clock going. So fast forward 4 minutes. Those are looking good. We've already put the shish kebabs on the grill, but I'm seeing a little bit of flame there. Is that just from the bacon or something, Bill?
Yeah, that's from the meat, the bacon. It's the grease is dripping down onto the fire, fuel to the fire.
Now what you're doing now is you're just turning them. How many times will you turn them in the next?
A lot.
7 minutes. Yeah, okay.
A lot.
So
I move some that are getting a little too much away from the heat, and others I'll put over. It's just a rotation.
All right, and we'll fast forward in a minute to see how they're done. We're definitely going to have leftovers tomorrow.
You think so?
Oh, I guess you're hungry.
I'm pretty hungry.
When we do these videos, it ends up being like almost 9 o'clock before we eat, but it's all for the awesome ones, right, Bill?
Oh, absolutely.
So how are we doing there? Bill?
I think we're good to go.
All right, so I got the rice over there, and you can start plating. Notice that it's covered up so that none of the flies and bugs got at it. And we're just going to put this right on the rice. And what I'll do is I'll pull out the skewers later. Ooh, that's looking really nice, Bill.
Yeah, it has a nice color to it, nice flavor too, eh?
And we got it done before it got dark.
Before the wild animals come smelling it, eh?
Yeah, really. Even though we're in the big city, there's always a raccoon or something that comes along and says, "Oh, that smells pretty good."
Yeah, at least it's not a bear or something. Now there was a little that fell off, but
Hey, hold that. That's beautiful. So Bill, this looks delicious. Look at this.
Excellent.
Can you guys see this? And we got Hurricane in the picture here. I don't know if he's in the film, but I gotta make sure he doesn't eat my food here while I'm talking. But you know, this is the time that we talk about the future videos coming up. And for this station, we're interviewing a couple of people. You're going to be so inspired. These are people who are chasing their dreams, going after their dreams. There's such interesting stories, and we really hope you're going to be inspired, because you got a dream inside you. You know what? You might want, whether it's a hobby, it doesn't really matter. Just go ahead and start her up again. And on the other channel, which is Awesome Over 50, Beauty and Fashion, Hurricane, he's trying to get my food, Beauty and Fashion, we have, I've got some more makeup reviews coming up. I also have, I'm still revamping that wardrobe of mine. We're almost ready to go on that, and I'll show you how to spruce up some old clothes and make them wearable again. So, like I said, we only have so many summers.
True.
And what I want you to do is enjoy it. We're in our gazebo here. There's no bugs in here, which is fantastic. Make yourself some outdoor space, even if it's on a balcony. Enjoy the summer, have fun, and keep it awesome.
keep it awesome.